Hello and welcome to Daily Politics, reaching you from Trust TV here in Abuja. On this program, we discuss issues around politics, policy, and governance. My name is Suleiman Suleiman. The All Progressives Congress chieftain, Chief Bola Ahmed Tinubu, on Saturday promised that he would deliver a banditry-free and prosperous Nigeria if elected president. He made the pledge while speaking to a crowd of party youths at the Mobolaji Johnson Arena in Onika, Lagos. He said, "A united Nigeria is our dream," Mr. Tinubu said. "A free Nigeria is our commitment, a violent-free Nigeria, a banditry-free Nigeria, a very successful Nigeria. We promise you we will hand it over to you. You are our tomorrow," Mr. Tinubu told the young people. Of course, as you are aware, the political season is on gathering momentum every day, and politicians are building bridges, but also burning some others down. They are making friends, but also making enemies along the way. So there is no surprise if any politician promises to build or to hand over a new Nigeria to young people. But then this is not just any politician. This is a former senator, a former governor, and the national leader of the All Progressive Congress, APC. So tonight we ask, how will Tinubu's aspiration pan out? How will his presidency be different, if indeed we get to that point, be different from what we have had in the past 7 years? And more importantly, how do we even get there in the first place? With me in the studio to discuss these issues is former Senator Dayo Adeyeye, who is chairman Southwest Agenda for Asiwaju. Mr. Adeyeye is a former senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, representing Ekiti South Senatorial District, and a former minister of state for works. Welcome to Daily Politics, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. But before we go on, we'll take 1 moment break, and when we return, we'll jump into it to discuss Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu's aspiration. It's been a long time, 23 years ago, or even longer, when Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu was senator. After that, he became a governor for 8 years of Lagos State. That is Nigeria's richest and also most commercially inclined and popular state in Nigeria. And since then, he has been building bridges across the country. Let's see how far that will go. Stay with us.
This is Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
Welcome back. This is Daily Politics on Trust TV, and we're discussing the APC presidential primary race. And today we're discussing that of former governor of Lagos State Senate and former senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who is one of the leading candidates of the All Progressive Congress. And with me is one of the insiders in his campaign, also a former senator of the Federal Republic, Senator Adeyeye. You're much welcome once again, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Yeah. So far, by the last count, you have about 10 candidates in this election. You know, in your party alone, you know, you have the former governor, the national leader of the APC, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu Ahmed himself, the vice president. You have the governor of Ebonyi State, Dave Umahi, you know, another governor of Kogi State, you know, and many candidates. What makes you think that your campaign and that of the governor of Lagos State, what makes it special among the other campaigns in the country, within the party?
First of all, we will not know the number of those who are actually seriously contesting for the presidency under the banner of the APC until they have purchased the forms.
Okay.
People might, at the present moment, people are merely talking about what their intentions are. But we want to see intention become reality when you actually take that step to purchase the form, then I will regard you as a real aspirant under the banner of the APC. Until you have purchased the form.
As Governor Tinubu, has he purchased the form?
Atinubu Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Yes.
He has not purchased the form because the forms will be on sale from tomorrow.
Okay.
If it had been on sale prior to
Saturday.
this time, he would have purchased the form. But I want to assure you that if there's anything I'm sure about, it is the fact that he will surely purchase the form by the grace of Almighty God. So it's going to be contesting. But be that as it may, it towers above the others who are in this race. And I say it with all sense of responsibility. First and foremost, it's more experienced than all of them who have come out in politics. It's more experienced than them. He was elected a senator as far back as 1992. He served under that. He served then in the Third Republic. When the military annulled the presidential election of 1993 and returned Nigeria to military dictatorship, he was in the forefront of the campaign for demilitarization, for a return to democracy. He became a founding member of NADECO. He fought for the annulment of the June 1993 election, and this took him into exile. He only returned in 1998 with the advent of the Abdulsalami Abubakar administration that opened the space again for democratic practice. He came back and he won the election to become the governor of Lagos State. Like we said, the most cosmopolitan state in Nigeria, the most commercial state in Nigeria, home to all Nigerians. He became the governor of that state and he ruled for 8 years. He was among the 6 elected governors of the AD then. The other 5 were defeated in elections in 2003. He was the only surviving one. And that must be a reason for that. He survived. Not only did he survive, he managed in that vantage position to recover most of the lost ground back to the progressive fold. So much so that today in the Southwest, the APC is controlling 5 states, while the PDP has only 1 state.
Interesting.
So you have to give him that is on the level of his democratic credentials, the level of his at the level of his political sagacity. You can see that this is a real thoroughbred politician, highly experienced, who has fought for democracy and who continues to fight for democracy. A dogged fighter, a man who does not shy away from challenges. So on that arena alone, it towers above them. But when you even come to the issue of governance, which is crucial to what most Nigerians will be expecting in the next president.
Certainly.
His record as governor of Lagos State is phenomenal.
Okay.
First and foremost, I always say one thing: without peace, without unity, you cannot have development. You talk of development in an atmosphere of peace, a rancor-free society, a society in which everybody have decided to come together, to work together, to lift the society up. Without peace and unity, you cannot have development. And I want to say that Bola Ahmed Tinubu had a record of presiding over a state where you hardly had intercommunal clashes, despite the fact that Lagos State is home
but
to...
there were OPC and all this kind of crisis, in Lagos when he was governor at the time.
Thank you, I'm coming to this issue.
Okay.
Despite the fact that you have every hamlet represented in Lagos, every hamlet of this country, even Africa, represented in Lagos. And that's why, in fact, we have a lot of what I would call nationality groups fighting for their own different ethnic nationalities, making Lagos the center of their operations. He was still able to douse the tension, reduce tension to the barest minimum, curtail the conflict, ameliorate some of the forces that were trying to put the nation apart, which find Lagos at the epicenter of their struggle. So he was able to manage things to that level that Lagos State did not witness, nothing got out of hand in Lagos State for the 8 years, particularly at the early stages of this new democratic dispensation, when passions were so high, tension was so much, people were very angry with what the military had done. if you did not have a person like Bola Tinubu at the helm of affairs, things could have gotten out of hand.
Interesting.
But he was able to down the tension. He was able to manage things, and he brought virtually people from all over the country to represented in his government.
But some people would say that this is a man who last held public office in 2007. That's almost 15 years ago. You know, that, okay, maybe he's no longer in touch with the realities of governance or even the realities of challenges in Nigerian society today, you know. So, or some people will say maybe he's behind the times.
I will not agree with them. What of the person, what of those who may be contesting for president now who have never even held any office?
Interesting.
At all, who have no experience at all. Don't forget that we have had such in the world. President Trump was elected without even any single experience in governance, in politics. And it's not the only one. We have so many examples all over the place. So the experience that he had as a governor, whether it is 15 years ago or whatever, still there for him is an experience. Whatever experience you garner while you are in the university is still with you today.
Absolutely.
And whatever the places where you have worked, whether before you came to this organization, the experience you gathered in those places, they're still with you. So I do not agree with that. He was able to run a very efficient government. And most of the people who serve in that government continue to serve in various places in Nigeria today as ministers, those who are his commissioners, chief of staff, and federal ministers today. One is the vice president, and they are in various areas, which means, number one, what does that tell you? It tells you that this is a man who is able to recognize talent, to plug them out, to use them, to develop them, and to lift them up to go to higher, to pursue higher endeavors. So that is a man who who recognizes talent. And Nigeria is a country that is abundant in terms of talent. In all the nooks and crannies of Nigeria, no area of Nigeria has shortage of talents. The only problem we have is we are not able to recognize them. We're not able to use them effectively. We're not able to create the enabling environment that could make them optimize their God-given talents. So this is a man that has proven to everyone that he is able to recognize talent from anywhere in the country and to be able to use them effectively for the development of society. So that is one strong point for him. In the present government we have now, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, those who passed through his school of politics, who passed through his school of governance, are doing extremely well in this government. And they are everywhere in all fields of human endeavor. Some have even returned to the private sector where they are excelling. So that is one factor that is going on for him. But the ability to bring people together. You know, the greatest challenge for this country today, as far as I'm concerned, is the challenge of insecurity and disunity. The country is broken. There is mistrust everywhere.
Absolutely.
There is total lack of unity. Our people are divided. We need somebody to bring everybody together. And once you bring everybody together, we need somebody to make sure that they live peacefully together. Put an end to banditry, put an end to terrorism, put an end to kidnapping and all these things. And let Nigeria, again, witness peace. Let people be able to sleep with their two eyes closed in their homes. Let them be able to travel without any fear of being kidnapped or being attacked on the way. Let people be able to pursue their business endeavors without any fear of molestation or attack from anywhere. So that is the kind of environment that Nigeria needs now. And the man that I believe, among all these people I mentioned, who have experience in doing these things, is actually Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
But some will say, what about the vice president who has worked with the president in the last 7 years? You know, some would say even people like the CBN governor, who is still holding on to his CBN position, you know, they want to also come. They've not stated, but we're in Nigeria and we know how politics works. And then others, governors who have actually been in held states up till maybe last week, this week, you know, so they are more in tune with current realities. Are they more, do they fare? How would you say that Asiwaju fares in relation to these people?
Oh yes, some of these people you have mentioned, you have mentioned the technocrat who is still in government right now. Still in government. I don't know whether he will come out to contest. his record can only be judged by those who are in the dark sector. But it is before the Nigerian public. Those people are not tested in the arena of politics.
What about the vice
They
president?
have not been tested in the arena of politics.
Okay.
To run an organization like that, where there is order, everybody obeys you, you come to the office, yes sir, yes sir. It's different from when you find yourself in the hot soup of politics. That is a completely different experience. This time you are managing all sorts of things. So that is a different thing I don't want to even compare at that level. The vice president, yes, he has had experience in the last 7 years, but I'm not here to talk about the vice president.
Okay.
I'm here to talk about my own candidate. That will be other people who will talk about the vice president experience.
Where are the two campaigns not engaging each other frontally in a campaign? Where are the two campaigns skirting and dodging from engaging each other? It's a political environment.
When you are running for,
the deed has already been done.
Yeah. Well, there is no. I won't say that we are not engaging ourselves frontally. Everybody is pursuing his own campaign. The vice president is pursuing his own campaign. We are pursuing our own campaign. Of course, in the course of doing that, there will be occasions where you will need to try to upstage each other or things like that. But in any case, this is the way we do our own politics in Nigeria until the primaries are over, or the primary season this time is very short. Yes. Extremely short. So it has not really enabled us to really amplify our positions like that. But the vice president has the right to go and contest. Just as Asiwaju has the right to go and contest. Asiwaju had been in the race before him. He knew very well that Asiwaju had said it openly that he was going to run for president. Some people have questioned the morality of his coming out, given the relationship between the two of them. But that's not why I'm here. Okay. That's another matter entirely. Certainly. Entirely. But I am very sure that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has better experience than all of these people in the arena of politics. Because when you are even a second fiddle to somebody, you are not the man in charge. You can just continue to follow. You are not the one actually bringing everybody together, doing all the work. You can be given tasks to do, but the symbol, the man that is really in charge, is a completely different thing. You know what I mean? Yeah, sure. So Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, in the politics of Nigeria is very complex. Few people understand it. Very, very complex politics, because we are a multi-ethnic, multi-religious society. The diversity is much in these countries. Different religions.
I was actually going to take you there, because you have,
and this is a man who has
7,000. Yes. You have 7,800 delegates from within the APC, spread across 36 states and the FCT. So what's the game plan of your campaign? Because you need those delegates in this moment to be able to make it to the finishing line. How are you working to woo these delegates, even before we get to speaking about what your programs are for Nigerians, which definitely we will come around to shortly?
Yeah, we have been on this work for the past 2.5 years, because we knew Asiwaju was going to contest. That was why we formed Swagger. Actually, if he had any doubts in his mind 2 years ago, we wanted to remove that doubt and push him to the arena. Let him drop his hat in the ring and come in. So we knew this, and we have been working for this day, for the delegates since that time. We are far ahead of the others in this game. I can assure you of that. We are far ahead of them. We know some of them are crisscrossing now, trying to meet the delegates. Of course, the delegates will come in. You know the Nigerian politics. If you come to any state, or your state, Ogun State, anywhere, Kaduna, and you say you want to meet all the delegates will go and meet you. But that does not mean they are supporting you.
Absolutely.
You know it is. Because also, as the nature of Nigerian politics is, pecuniary benefits always follow those meetings. As we have seen in Ibadan, where we saw pictures of money in some bags for some people, for some of these delegates. So people will always attend those meetings. That's no meaning. But we are sure of the commitment to our candidate. The vast majority of those 7,800 delegates who have mentioned, more than half of them, more than 60% of them, are absolutely committed to our candidate, they're actually working for him. Not only committed to him, they're actually working for him to convert others. That one I can show you.
Thank you. That's interesting, and we can't wait to see how things turn out.
Yeah.
But before then, there's been issues in the news of late, across the Southwest, which is where your organization is mostly focused on, at the, at least at the initial stages. That the Asiwaju is a tired politician. Oh, let us retire him. That is no longer influential in this region, in his own Southwest region. And that's probably informs people are saying that anyone can go for it, and so on. He no longer has control of the region as he did in the AD and the ACN days. How do you respond to that?
That is totally false.
Okay.
I think he's even at the zenith of his power now in the Southwest. The support base is huge and is massive for him. And I challenge any other person to dispute that. The events will unfold and you will see it. That he commands total support. You saw the youth rally in Lagos, how massive it was. Women rally is coming, you will see how massive it is. If we gather all traditional rulers in the Southwest together today, 90%, to be modest, 90% will be for him. It could even be more. If you gather artisans, professional groups, the same thing. So the support base in the Southwest is huge, is big, absolutely big. People are for him, they are supporting him. They have seen his qualities, they are ready. We know that no human being is perfect. We are not saying Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is perfect, but we say that in the circumstances that we find ourselves today in this country, is the best man for this job at this very moment. Because Nigeria needs an exceptional leader now who can bring everybody together, first and foremost, who can enjoy the trust of all the ethnic groups in Nigeria, who can enjoy the trust of all the religious groups in Nigeria, who can enjoy the trust of the various professional and groups and the artisans and all the rest in this country. And that is the man, because he's in touch with all these people. He has built bridges to all these various divisions, so that is in a position to bring everyone together. And that is the first task of the next president of Nigeria, bringing people together to ensure peace and stability, without which there can be no development. See the amount of money we are spending on security. The money that should be used to build schools, to build hospitals, to build roads, to send people on scholarship at home and abroad, to begin to do great infrastructural work. We are spending on security.
Thank you.
And so we need a man who can, who enjoy the trust of every person. Actually, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a Muslim, a practicing Muslim, but his wife is a Christian. That is the nature of politics in the Southwest. You can have a father who is a Christian, and the son will be a Muslim, vice versa. People live together in harmony in the Southwest. We don't have religious crisis. And he is therefore in a position to bring that experience to the table in Nigeria, to bring everybody together, to say, okay, we don't need to kill ourselves for our beliefs.
Absolutely.
You believe is your personal matter, and you should be able to tolerate me, and I should be able to tolerate you as well.
Sure.
That's it.
Thank you. So, but then you said that he has the ability to bring people together, But some people would say, okay, this ability, doesn't go beyond the Southwest. That when it comes to other parts of the country, you mentioned earlier that he sports talent. Most of the talent that he has sported so far, and those that are around him, people drawn from the Southwest largely. So maybe should people from other parts of the country now worry that if he wins, for example, then all the talents that drawn from him will be from just one part of the country?
No, absolutely. They need not worry. Even, he was governor of his state. He was not operating at national level.
Absolutely.
At national arena. And therefore, usually, most of the people will come from that environment within the state. But he has a large art, to the extent that he had commissioners from virtually all the states of the Southwest, even from the Southeast. He had people from the Southeast. Within the party APC, you had people from the Southeast, South, who are operatives of the party. You have people from the North, from the East, from the Southwest, who are chairmen of local governments in Lagos State. supported by Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, actually spotted and supported by him to become chairman of local governments. So among those, one of the members of his cabinet from the Southeast is now the director of budget at the federal level.
Thank you.
You have them all over. And his government was open to all, where those who are in business from any part of the country, they were able to get contracts under his government, and they were able to do their businesses without any problem. Lagos is a place that all Nigerians feel comfortable to do business, that their businesses are secure. I am yet to hear of any attack of any business premises, unless there is riot by you during the NSAS, apart from that. But based on your ethnicity, no. Lagos is home to everybody, and that is the strength of that state, to attract investment from not only Nigeria, every part of Nigeria, but even outside the country. And that is the haven of investment, safe investment in Nigeria. So, and he created that situation. I believe he did a lot to create that situation and to create a very friendly business environment in Lagos State. So much so that today Lagos is the fifth largest economy in Africa. If you take Lagos out of Nigeria, the economy of Lagos is number 5 in Africa.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you. So we will discuss around other issues. For example, what plans, because Nigeria is one nation, yes, but there's always a home base for everyone, you know. So maybe when we return from a short break, we'll be talking about what plans various campaigns have for the situations that are dealing, for the issues that matter the most to certain categories of voters. For example, northern voters, and what can Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu say to them that will attract them to their, to his candidacy and things like that. But before that, we'll take a short break.
Okay.
When we return, we'll be discussing, thank you for staying with us so far. We have been discussing about the presidential aspiration of former governor of Lagos State, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. When we return, we'll continue with that discussion. Stay with us. Welcome back. This is Daily Politics on Trust TV, and so far we're discussing the APC primaries with a particular focus on the presidential aspiration of former governor of Lagos State, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, popularly known as Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu. So one of the issues is, does it appear that the APC has settled the question of where the president should come from, without actually saying it? Because if you look at, you find that in the PDP, there are candidates from all over the country, from various parts, from the southeast particularly, and then from the south, and then northern Nigeria as well, about 5 northern candidates from the PDP alone. But in the APC, almost all the candidates so far, with bar 2, are from the southern Nigeria. Is that a way of saying that the APC has zoned its presidency to the south?
The APC recognizes the crucial importance of rotation in the politics of Nigeria, in ensuring stability and peace and unity of the country. Like we said earlier, this is a multi-ethnic, multi-religious society. It is only good that people should have a sense of belonging. A sense of belonging. The presidency does not mean that when somebody from your area becomes the president, therefore all the goods of everything good comes to your area. No, not actually. It's just a question of, a person from my place too can become president. Or this symbol, I see him as part of me. Therefore, I am committed to this country. I think it's just a question of symbolism. But it's very important. Symbols are crucial and important for the unity and stability of any nation. Therefore, the APC recognizes this particular fact that President Muhammadu Buhari from Katsina State in the Northwest will be completing 8 years. That is constitutionally allowed for him anyway. 8 years. Next year, May 29. And therefore, and then after that, people believe that naturally power should rotate down to the south. Somebody from the south too should be able to occupy that position. There is a gentleman's agreement among the political leaders of Nigeria. It is not written anywhere. It is not cast in iron. But it is in the mind of everybody that this is a gentleman's agreement, that power should shift to rotate between the north and the south. We have not gone beyond that to microzone, to the different geopolitical zones. But there is a gentleman's agreement that power should frequently, periodically, rotate between the north.
Was this agreement encoded in any party document, or
this is encoded in many of the party documents?
Interesting.
In both the APC constitution and the PDP constitution, you can see that some PDP guys are already arguing that without Sony to the south, the PDP will be violating a crucial provision of their constitution, which recognizes Sony and rotation. Sony or rotation, let me call it. So, and the same thing. So, because any reasonable person in Nigeria knows that you have to shift power, particularly the presidency, between the north and the south. Even in our various states, we do rotate the position of governor. In many states, these positions are rotated. Even in many places, the position of senator is rotated between local governments. In some places, local government chairmanship is rotated among various wards, various groups within that local government. So, how much more of Nigeria with this kind of complexity? So, I think it is a recognition of that the APC, being the ruling party, being a very progressive party, has come to that understanding and, in a very subtle manner, has considered the presidency to the south for now. The PDP, like you said, they are in confusion. And that is what will strangulate them and pave the way for APC to triumph in the presidential elections.
Oh. Okay, well, that's yet to be seen.
Yes.
But there's this issue that's been going on, particularly in this part of the country for a long time, that there was a sort of gentleman agreement or any understanding between the President Muhammadu Buhari and Asuwaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu, dating back to 2013, 2014, when the APC was being formed by a coalition of the two major parties, AC and CPC, then AMPP and other parties joined. That there was that gentleman agreement of rotating that between them, that Tinubu will come after Buhari. Do you know anything about that gentleman agreement?
I was not there.
Okay.
And I don't want to speak about something I am not, in which I did not participate. I better leave that one. I'm not disputing it, but I just don't want to talk about it.
No, it's all right. So, but what is the relationship between Asiwaju Tinubu and the President Buhari in general? I
think they have excellent relationship.
Okay.
Absolutely excellent relationship. I remember in 2019, I had a discussion with Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I actually came to discuss Ekiti politics with him and what was going on there. And he told me, you see, his interest in Ekiti politics is to the extent of its likely effect on the outcome of the presidential elections.
Interesting. That was that was before the 2019 election?
Yes.
Okay.
That his interest is ensuring that APC gains power in Ekiti, so that it can be so that it can be so that it can advance the prospect of President Buhari retaining his position, winning re-election. So he said that was his major interest. He wants Ekiti to be in the column of the APC so that at least President Buhari can win the state and therefore win the presidency. It's a part of the way to win the presidency. So Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has great admiration for President Muhammadu Buhari. He worked for him, like everybody can acknowledge, put everything on the line for him. In his usual way, when Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu wants to support you, he will put his entire weight behind you. He doesn't do anything in half measures. He will put everything to us, and that's what he did in 2015. And that's what he did also in 2019. He has a very excellent relationship with the president, I believe. I have never seen them together, but I know that in my conversations with him, he has very high regard for the president.
Do you think the relationship between the president and any aspirant in the party presently will be crucial for the primary election coming?
It will be important.
At the end of this, okay.
It will be, the president is the president of Nigeria. He's also the leader of the party. He has great influence on the party. So his support is very important. Very, very important. Okay. That's what I would say. Very important. If you can have his support, of course, that will go a long way. So I would say that the influence of the president is something that we, to a large extent, impact on the outcome of the primaries. Yeah.
Thank you. So one of the things our viewers watching now will want to know right now is, it's always been said that Buhari has 12 million voters in the north. Those 12 million voters now are going to be somebody else's voters in 2023 elections, because Buhari will not be standing in that election, and for a long time, since 2002, that will be the first presidential election in which since 2003, Buhari will not be standing in this country. So what are the plans for your campaign, the Tinubu campaign in particular, in mobilizing these Buhari voters? How are you planning to do it? What are you saying to these Buhari voters? Because some of them will be delegates in these primaries already.
Even beyond the issue of delegates, the masses mostly. After we win the primaries, by the grace of God, we go for general election. I believe that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the only person who is in a position to harness a substantial part of those 12 million voters. I believe he can even get the 12 million voters, because by now, if President Buhari were contesting, because of the increase in population, more people have come into the electoral roll. I believe President Buhari should be talking about 15, 16 million voters. And I think by now we should be thinking of Asiwaju having, of those northern voters, a minimum of 12 to 30 million voters.
So what is the plan? How do you hope to, what are you need to say to them?
He has been cultivating them.
Okay.
Since 2000, even before 2015. Don't forget that under ACN, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu had always supported northern candidates. Atiku in 2007, Ribadu in 2011, and President Buhari in 2015. Throughout this period, he had been able to mix with various groups in the north who supported these aspirants too, who appreciated the support, who are grateful for the effort he put in for all these other candidates at that time. And they form a solid base. They are there everywhere he goes to. Some of them may tell you, oh, thank you, I was a supporter of Atiku, you supported us, so I'm with you now. Some for Ribadu, now also for President Buhari. So he's been cultivating them for a long time. He's been working on the northern electorate for a long time. He's been making very good financial contributions to the cause, to the various other religious or non-religious causes in the north. Don't forget that anywhere time you have disasters or banditry or any major attack or terrible things, Asiwaju is always there to sympathize with the people and to make very good financial donations to ameliorate their problems, to alleviate their suffering. So he has always been there, and people appreciate this. And so he has built a solid network of politicians in the north, not to, and beyond even politicians, intellectuals, professional groups and artisans. He has very solid network among them, and I believe all these people will begin to work for him in the days ahead. And so he's going to win the general election. Even when you talk of religious aspect, a lot of the top scholars, Muslim scholars.
What are the policy platforms that he is selling first to the APC?
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
This is a very important question.
Yes.
The policy platform, he has made it clear in very simple terms that he's going to eliminate the problem of insecurity, banditry in particular, and terrorism in the north. These are the two major issues now in the north. If you can eliminate banditry, particularly in the more ravaged states of Zamfara, Niger, all of these states. If you put an end to banditry, people can then return to their normal works. Farmers can return to the farms to produce. As of today, a lot of people have left the farms because they are afraid of kidnapping. Schools are not opening. Some schools are closed permanently. So the main issue, which he said is committing himself to, and I said it before, that the first order of government anywhere in the world is to secure life and property. Yeah. That is when you talk about the obscene state of nature. People came to form government so as not to be brutish to each other, so as to have order in society. They surrendered their freedom to government. They started to pay taxes to government in order to secure their lives and their property. That is the first business of government. And that is the thing that is lacking in some parts of the country today. People's lives and properties are not secured in many parts of the country. So the first thing to the northern electorate, and even to the Nigerian electorate, is to ensure security of lives and property. Eliminate by any means possible the problem of banditry and terrorism.
But some people will say that's exactly what the APC promised in 2015 and 2019. And if they had been successfully done that, then you wouldn't be promising that all over again. So how do you answer that question?
Yes, but you see, it remains the policy of the APC. And I think that should be the policy of the APC. To the extent that the problem is with us, and I acknowledge the problem is with us, we need to continue to make the problem of insecurity number one priority. Okay. And that means a change of personnel. Okay. Sometimes you need to change your person. Sometimes a change of personnel brings in new ideas of tackling the problem. But the general policy framework is the same. Problem of insecurity has to be tackled. Maybe you need new ideas, you need new personnel to tackle it. You need bring in maybe that should be a paradigm shift, let me say, in terms of working on this particular issue. So I think that's what Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu will be offering. We have declared general principles, principle of eliminating insecurity in the country, but there will be a change in the way this problem is tackled. That one I can assure you. Number two is that the economy. Okay. Economy. I think everywhere in this country, it's not a question of northern Nigeria, southern Nigeria, western Nigeria. The economy is biting hard on the masses. These youth particularly are frustrated. Many have left school, they can't find jobs. I'll give an example. My own state of Ekiti State is a peculiar state. That is a state in which people have gone to school, they have master's degrees. And today, what are they doing? They are riding Okada. I have seen it. It's so widespread. Thousands of graduates that are unemployed. We love education. People have gone to school. But what is the result? They can't find jobs. They are riding Okada. That kind of frustration, we have to eliminate it. We have to bring an end to it. We have to give hope to the youth. The youth, they are the leaders of tomorrow. Everything we are doing today must be for the good of the youth. To some extent, we are past half line. But these people are just starting, and we must give them hope. We must ensure that they can compete in the world arena. So, and therefore, there will be a major shift in terms of the economic policy of the federal government. We need to begin to do things differently. We need to take some radical measures that will turn the economy around. Look, I used to have a Chinese friend when I was in the University of Lagos in the 70s. I mean, in the 80s. I did my master's there in 1980, 81. And I had a Chinese friend who came for a master's program in the University of Lagos.
From all the way to from China.
Then they were under communism. Just trying to emerge from communism. So he came in, he was, in fact, he envied us, the way we were living. How he wished his people could live like this. He told me, he wished to exchange ideas. He believed we were living in luxury. We had anything we wanted, we ate good food, we had good clothing. Nigeria was really good. You agree with me?
Yeah.
80, 81, things were good. Even when I was in University of Ibadan, we paid only 50 kobo to eat the best food you can't get in Transcorp Hotel today. Our clothes were threatened for us, you know. So when he was there, he was envious of us. Today, we are envious of China.
Absolutely.
In less than 20, 30 years, they turn things around. They move past us, and they are now the #2 economy in the whole world.
Are you saying that Asuju has a plan?
I believe Asuju has a plan to turn things, because China did that not by following the normal economic policies. They decided to have a complete paradigm shift. They decided to change the whole structure of their economy. And that is what Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is intending to do by bringing in the experts who can do this. We cannot do business as usual. Nigerian economy must be turned around. We are importing too many things. Too many things that we can produce here. We open our borders to import them. And so if we import them, how can you produce? And they are cheaper, you know. Today, thank God, Dangote refinery has come into. That's a radical thinking. People always believe that the only government who can do refinery. And government did 3 refineries and they are not ever successful. And government cannot do it, because go and build that kind of refinery that Dangote has just built. Let government build it, it will be a disaster. You know the way we run things, government businesses. Yeah. This organization, you are efficient here because we are private. I am a person who believes who have so much trust in the ingenuity and the capacity of the private sector.
But the private sector in some parts of the country are not strong, you know. For example, if you look at Lagos, you know, and even if you look at Abuja here, you find that the private sector representation in the country, you know, is for example, you have this, but then if you go to Lagos, you have 3, 4, 5 times like this one. So other parts of the country, their participation in the private sector is minimal compared to.
That is why we are now. That's what we are now saying.
Okay.
Every part of the country now will be having a very real public participation in their economy. Everywhere in the country. Once you change the economic policy, people will know, oh, this thing I can't get it from Lagos, I have to produce it here. I can't import it, I have to produce it here. Tomato puree, this one, that one, I have to do it. And before you know it, China, there was not a single businessman in China in 1980, not one person. Today they have produced more than 500, 600 billionaires. So it is when you unleash the potential of the masses that you will see that our people are hardworking. All over Nigeria, Nigerians are very hardworking. There's no area of the country where people are lazy. I have gone around this country. People are hardworking. It's only that we have not really encouraged them. So I believe that the main solution to the problem of the economic stagnation of Nigeria is unleashing the potential of the people, making sure that our youth, 40% of who are either unemployed or underemployed, are made to work. These people have energy. When you do not engage them positively, they say the devil finds work for idle hands. Absolutely. Then they engage in all this kidnapping, banditry, and all the rest. That's what you get, because they are brimming with energy. And then you are not allowing that energy to be diverted to positive purposes. Then you will get negative.
Thank you. So but just before we go, maybe one final question. Since we are talking about energy now, you know, that there is criticism out there that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is quite old, you know, he's 67, 68, you know, and that, but also is facing lots of health issues, and that he may not be able to stand the rigors of being president of Nigeria, particularly a country as diverse, as complex as ours. How do you respond to that? Because it's an
I do not.
important question for many
Those who
Nigerians.
say that say it out of ignorance.
Okay.
Ignorance or mischief. Some of them is pure for political reasons. If you come close to Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, you know that he has no health challenges.
Okay.
None whatsoever. And I'm happy because sooner than later you come into personal encounter with him in the course of the campaign. You find that he has tremendous energy to do the job. Like he said himself, he has not applied to engage in a wrestling match. Neither is he saying he wants to be a member of the Super Eagles.
Yes.
Oh.
Stop playing football. Okay.
He is saying that this is a mental work and that he has the mental capacity to do this job. He has the experience to do this job. As far as physical energy is concerned, he is well enough to carry the rigors of the job. So I know that some of the greatest presidents we have ever had in the world are not people who are so physically robust or strong like that. Because what we need in this position is your mental capacity, not really your physical strength. Look at a president like FDR, Frederick Delano Roosevelt. The man who is normally venerated as the third greatest American president after Abraham Lincoln and George Washington. Yes. The greatest president of the 20th century.
Yes.
FDR. FDR was on wheelchair throughout. He suffered polio in his youth. And so he was confined to wheelchair. And beyond that, he had very serious health challenges. Yet, this was the only man to have won presidential election in America 4 times. After that, they have to amend the constitution to say you can only have 2 terms. Before, it was a matter of convention. George Washington, the first president, did only 2 terms and left. And so that president copied him. I said, okay, we'll do 2 years. A matter of convention, not in the constitution. But when FDR came in 1932, at the time of the Great Depression, he changed the economy. The economy was completely finished down. America lost hope.
But that was in the 1930s, you know.
He changed your thing. Then he won in the election, and after that, people were clamoring that you go for 3rd term.
But that's in the U.S. in the 1930s. We're talking about Nigeria in 2022.
The same things apply.
In 10 seconds, are you okay?
The same things apply. His leadership, he was leading the whole country during the Second World War. And he was able to
So all that matters is leadership. I think
all that matters is leadership. Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu have enough strength to carry the job. He can move, he can walk. He's not on wheelchair like FDR. And he has total control of his mental faculties. He's an intelligent, brilliant, experienced politician. So I don't see any militating factor there at all. He is quite ready, he's prepared, he's physically strong, he's mentally alert to do the job.
Yeah, thank you very much, Senator Dayo Adeye. It's been quite interesting speaking with you, and we hope that we get to speak with you again as the primary season and the general election season continues. It's been nice having you. Thank you also, our viewers, for staying with us. We've been discussing APC presidential race, not just in the primaries, but also looking forward to the general election. We've been talking in particular about the presidential chances and the plans of the former governor of Lagos State and national leader of the APC, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Do join us tomorrow when we'll bring you another edition of Daily Politics with another guest and, of course, another issue around politics, policy, and governance. My name is Suleiman Suleiman. Bye-bye.